Broadcasting to South Yorkshire and North Derbyshire
Gul Nawaz Hussain
on BBC Radio Sheffield.
You're listening to Eastern Air on BBC Radio Sheffield. It's 9 minutes past 8 this Sunday evening. We're into the final hour of this evening's show. And it's time to introduce a little bit of culture and a little bit of art, because I'm joined in the studio by a number of Indian dance and music performers. I'm joined by Riddhi Prasha, Dr. Rajashri Sarkar, Lahari Palagdugu, and also by their teacher, Sudipta Samantha. So, good evening to all of you. Thank you for coming in.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, Sudipta, I'll come to you first. You're the teacher, and your school's called Tunes and Rhythm, is that right?
That's right.
So, the type of dance is called Bharat Natyan.
That's right.
So, tell us a little bit about that. And where will people have seen it? Because they'll have seen some kinds of Indian dance. Is that what this is, or is it different?
I think Bharatanatyam is one of the most popular Indian classical dance that is 2000 years old. It started with the temples by the dancers who used to dance in the temples in the south of India. It's a South Indian classical dance. After that, I think it became popular. It didn't actually stay in the temple bit, but they went to people's houses. So in general, people tried to learn it, and from their popularity, it actually gone more and more popular. So nowadays, I think every children in the South India and over the India, they actually learning it, and it's came abroad as well.
So when people think of Indian dance, they'll think of principally a woman moving around, stamping her feet, moving her hands. Is this the type of dance that we're talking about? Is that a caricature of what you teach?
No, I think in every aspect of dance, you need to move your hands and feet, but the way you do it and what is the meaning of that actually related with the dance. So there are 8 classical different dances from India. Bharatanatyam is the one of them, and it's the most popular. There are other one like Kathak and Odissi, but Bharatanatyam has got its own patterns. It based on their hand gestures, neck movement, head movement, and of course there's tapping of feet and balancing. So it teach you all body movement parts as well, and with music.
Now you mentioned Sudipta, how the dance started in the temples.
Yes.
Does it still have a close link to the temples and to faith?
Yeah, I think so because it started as offering to the gods, but all the Bharatanatyam dance songs and their history is linked with the deities and the gods, like different, because it goes from, when I teach is from grade 1 to grade 7. So as they move over the grades, different grades, it become complex dance, but they have to learn the basic like alphabets of dance called Arabus. And after that, based of those Arabus, they actually compose different kind of choreography, and there are different patterns of dance that involves gods and goddesses.
Now, as well as the dance, you also teach classical or semi-classical Indian music, and again, people listening will have an idea of what Indian music is: sitar, tablas. Is that what we're talking about? Or is
I teach vocal, so I teach Hindustani classical vocal music, as well as I teach the harmonium skill, how to play the harmonium. That's the accompany of your vocal music. So harmonium actually is an Indian classical instrument and widely known by the most of the Indian people. It's a category. It's kind of piano.
Is that the one where
you have to do the bellow?
It's quite synonymous with Qawwali music as well. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah, that's right. So I teach how to play the harmonium, basics of it, and then the classical music. I follow a syllabus that's from India, and I move them by grade. And this is the vocal music I teach. Apart from the classical, I teach also Bollywood music, just like application and Tagore's music, because I am Bengali and I have got multilingual students. So I broadened the aspect by being based on classical music.
Okay, well, let's speak to some of your students now. I'm going to speak to Dr. Rajashri Sarkar. Now, you're learning instruments from Sudipta, is that right?
Yeah, it's instrument as well as the vocal music, what Shripadi was talking about.
Okay, so which instrument are you playing? Is it the harmonium?
It's a harmonium, right?
And how far have you got in your studies?
I've passed, luckily, my grade 1 last year, and I'm into my second year of training. And the positive thing about this school is it takes you in your pace. Because I'm a working mother, I work 5 days a week with on-call, so not necessarily I might get time to practice every day, but she will go with your pace, go with how you're moving on. So I'm in the second year at the moment.
And what was the main incentive for you to want to learn the instrument and also the vocal instrument as well?
Okay, so basically music is my passion and has been my passion since I was a child. However, you get married, you get busy, and you stop singing, stop playing musical instruments. But it started with my son learning music from Shripadi again. And I thought, if I'm taking him for a lesson, I should do something as well. So I started, and then my daughter wanted to learn. She started, so we are now a family learning music from her.
Now, you mentioned about being a working mom and being on call. Do you find your musical studies sort of release
Absolutely.
from the pressures of your job?
Absolutely. Listening to music, practicing ragas, practicing songs on harmonium, preparing for exams, it is a stress reliever.
Now, you mentioned ragas. Are those the vocal scales that people will hear?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay, well, let's go to some of your other students now. I'm going to go to one of your younger students. So this is Ridhima. I hope I've said your name correctly.
Yeah.
Have I?
Yeah.
Now, Ridhima, you've been talking too much, so I've had to come to you now. So, how long have you been studying for?
I have been studying for 5 years.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
I'm 10.
Okay, so half your life has been spent learning these instruments and vocalization.
Yeah.
And what's your most favorite part of what you do?
I think it's how because I like singing, I get to learn another type of singing as well as, English songs and things.
So do you like singing lots of different kinds
Yeah.
of songs?
Yeah.
And which are easier, English songs or the Indian vocalization? Your teacher's staring at you now.
Well, it's different in both ways, so I don't really know. I like.
Is that
them both
because
the
you're
same.
so good, both of them come easy to you? I think that's the answer, isn't it? So it's not easy, you just make it easy. Now, so somebody said you might be willing to give us a little bit of a demonstration about of the skills that you learn. Would you be willing to do that?
Yep.
Okay, so you can just lean forward into the microphone. So now you're getting your notebook out. Does this have the lyrics inside?
Yeah.
Okay.
कैसे कहूँ आलिरी दुख बतिया पिया परदेशनी नयन बहत नीरे गारे सासा नीरे सासा निदा नीरे रे गा मा पा मा दा नी दा पा मा गा रे कैसे कहूँ आलिरी दुख बतिया मा दा सा नी रे गा रे सा नी दा पा गा रे सा नी दा पा नी दा पा मा गा रे सा आँख बरसत पिया नहीं आए तरस बिनु सकी बरस गयो मोरी कैसे कहूँ आली कैसे कहूँ आली कैसे कहूँ आली री दुख बतिया.
Fantastic, Ridhima. Thank you very much. You did that all on one breath as well. Now to our final guest, Lahari. Now, Lahari, how old are you?
I'm 15.
And how long have you been studying for?
About 4 or 5 years.
And is it right, have you spent more time learning the dance than the vocal instruments and the physical instruments?
That's right.
Why did you want to concentrate on the dance?
Well, I've always liked using my feet and I'm always moving around, so I just thought I wanted to channel it into something like that dance.
And apart from the dance that you're learning at the tunes and rhythm school, is there any other kind of dance you're interested in, or are you solely focused on your Indian skills?
At the moment, only classical Indian, but I have learned other dance styles in the past, such as ballet, freestyle, jazz.
And you're obviously studying at school, so how hard is it to study and keep up to date with your studies, and then also study something that's so difficult?
It is quite hard, as you've got to manage all your time with your school subjects, your school homework, revision, as well as preparing for dance exams and dance lessons. But it's sort of like a stress reliever.
And the exams that you take, do you get, obviously you're passing the test that your teacher sets you, but do you get formal qualifications as well?
Yeah.
And who are they under? What the institutions that you're? All right, I'll ask you, Sudipta. So the qualifications that your students receive, who are they recognised by?
I think it's an institution actually started by a lady. It's called Oriental Examination Board of London. It's based on London, but the lady who actually started she's Sri Lankan. She called Ambika ji. Actually, yesterday we went for our dance exam down in Kings Lynn. All our students, I think Lahari is doing grade 3, but she is going for grade 4 in London in 26th of May. So they are all done their theory test and both practical tests yesterday. She will be having the results in 6 weeks, and I think they have performed very well. So the board is from London. It's actually affiliation from India, and this board is actually around the world. So they get qualifications up to grade 7 that can add it into UCAS point as well.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. So just before we finish, Sudipta, if people are listening and they're interested, whether they're children or adults, in embarking upon studying vocal instruments or physical instruments or the classical dance, how can they contact you?
I think I have got a Facebook page that's called Tunes and Rhythms that has got my phone number, and my email address as well. So they can contact through there, or sometimes the children I have got, or the adults I teach, they came through I have got a music page as well, because I am a freelance singer. Professionally I sing for different occasions, so they contact me through the pages. I haven't got my website yet, but I'm working on it. So they can always come through my Facebook page, or I have got my phone number. I generally give out my cards wherever I go, or through people's connection. They can always contact me. I'll be happy to have children, because my whole purpose of having this school is to promote Indian culture through this younger generation who have a really little chance to learn something here by staying abroad. That's the purpose of my school.
Okay, thank you. Now, Ridhima, Lahari, obviously, I think your student friends, your school friends will be listening. Do you want to say hello to them before we go?
Hi guys.
Hi.
And is there who are the bad teachers at your school? Do you want to? No, don't name them. Don't name them. Okay, before we go, does anyone want to sing us out just a 15-20 seconds worth? Anybody want to do it? You would like to? So, Dr. Rajeshri Sarkar.
I'm going to sing a bhajan, which we recently performed in the annual event, which was last week. पायो जी मैंने राम रतन धन पायो जी मैंने वस्तु अमूलित दी मेरे सतगुरु वस्तु अमूलित दी मेरे सतगुरु कृपा कर अपनायो पायो जी मैंने राम रतन
fantastic. Well, Sudipta, Samantha, Dr. Rajashri Sarkar, and Ridhima and Lahari, thank you very much for coming into Eastern Air and sharing your fantastic talents with us. You're listening to Eastern Air on BBC Radio Sheffield.